Now talk. Talk.
Hi, you guys. We're going to be painting today tulips in a glass vase, and this is an easy step-by-step, really a beginner painting if you're new to acrylics or you're painting for a while. Watch how we simplify this. It's going to make painting all glass vases in the future easy, and I think it's acrylics and you're going to have fun. John's throwing up his hands. Are you okay?
Now talk. No. No.
Hey guys, we're going to be painting today tulips in a glass vase. And
it's stupid. I don't like it. But it's what we got. Here we go. Here we go. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Put this on, put that on. Okay, we're down. We're down on the floor, baby.
what does that mean?
We're down on the floor. Where we see the art table. We see what we're painting.
Okay.
Talk to the crowd.
All right, can you hear me? Do I have a voice?
Wait a minute, I got to turn this all off.
Do I have I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You just don't see me?
No, well, you're up in the corner.
Okay.
Wave to the fans.
Okay.
You're up there.
All right. If we're already on the table,
we have no idea. You know, the problem is YouTube is doing new studio live beta software, and they're kind of forcing us to use it, and I don't like it.
Well, look. The first 30 seconds were really important, and you're whining about the software.
Because the first 30 seconds, I have no idea when we go live. I don't know when we actually go live, because none of my software says you're live yet.
Well, are we on this?
We're on now. We're live. Okay. People are watching us and are wondering, what are you talking about? You're not talking about acrylic painting. Because this is an acrylic painting show where we do easy, step by step.
I'm going to show everybody on an 8x10 canvas how to do this glass vase, how to, with just a few brush strokes, make something look very simple and easy, and yet it conveys a glass vase. I don't know what it is up in this room that gets me.
It's a Bluetooth.
I don't know. I hope we have some water over there. I'm glad you're the only one that has some. Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the show. This will be fun.
Wine, wine, wine. Would you like a little cheese with the wine?
Quiet. Just pass things.
Hi, everyone.
Pass things.
You wanted a water.
So,
a water, my queen.
We're starting off with the 8x10 canvas, and this is actually phthalo green and white, and it makes it really almost a turquoise blue color. Isn't it pretty? So that's what we're going to start with, and this is our design. And I just, someone said, well, where was your reference photo on this? I have a reference photo. A lot of times, this was just an ad for a floral arrangement. Some, just different ones. It wasn't even an ad. It's just an example of, there wasn't a glass vase, and there were some tulips. And so I vaguely, kind of did these shapes. So you're going to use me as your reference, not anything else. I'm your reference. All right?
As a good reference, I might say.
I'm the reference. So the easiest thing to do is just take a moment and just draw this on. And people say, well, where's the traceable? I want you to understand that we don't really need that, and here's why. Because we're going to get out the chalkboard.
Ooh, I love the chalkboard.
And we're going to
just,
are you down here with the camera?
I just want you to show.
Look, the bottom of the vase is flat, and the sides are curved, like parentheses. You can do that, right? And then this kind of curves like that, and that's the bowl. That's all you need to know, and I'll show you how big to make it. That's pretty easy. And tulips are really easy. They're like U's, like that. So if you think about a tulip like that, maybe...
You know what that looks like?
A tulip.
No, a fortune cookie.
Well, it isn't a fortune cookie, John, so just...
It looks like a fortune cookie.
Zip it.
I'll go make my...
If this is not an ink blot test.
I love those. What do you see?
I bet you fail all the time.
How can you, wait a minute, how do you fail an ink blot test? It's your opinion.
You don't want to go there with opinions, do you? Okay, so now, so if you think about that, and here's one coming down here like that, right? Okay, so basically what you want to do is just make sure you get them the right size. I would say the main thing to consider is when you're doing any kind of flower project, make sure that your flowers don't touch the ceiling. Kind of give yourself a little space of flowers in your vase, right? Does that make sense? Don't crowd your stuff. And you can do that by following these measurements. Yay! Okay?
Are we using fingers or actual inches?
Oh, I like fingers.
You always have them handy,
I
don't
guess,
you?
yeah, like it's like 4 fingers on this side, and it's like 4 fingers, 3.
Yeah, that's a practical thing to use.
It's 3 fingers, actually, I lied. It's 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something like that anyway. For those of you who want inches, it is about 2 1/4.
Oh, fingers are so much easier.
I know it. Then, you know, not everybody likes rulers. And we're about 1 finger up from the bottom, right? So there, maybe a little bit more than 1 finger. 1 finger and a half up from the bottom. We'll just be the last of the big spenders here and go up a little higher. And then our vase is actually about 2 inches wide. Yes and yes.
Yes.
See, this is really simple. I mean, I know you guys were just all worried about this. And then be sure to curve it like that. See, be sure to bring that up, just kind of curve that like that, just slightly. There's your vase. Couldn't be easier than that. And you're going to have to, excuse me, I have to blow my nose. I don't know what is up here, but I'm going to just turn my back. In this room. All right, so now we've got that, right? Yes and yes. So then what do we know? Well, we know that our flowers are about in the center. If you went straight up from the center here, right? They're about 3 inches from here. Yes and yes. So that's I've got a flower right there, and I'm just going to draw that in. Just put the U in, okay? And then there's one next to it, like that. And these guys are no more than 2 fingers long, okay? For those of you who insist on rulers, about 1 inch. And then I'm going to give a little space and come over here and make one just slightly higher. All right, there's this flower here, like that. And then if you think about an arc like that, here's this one kind of facing that way. All right? Yes and yes? So there's there. And then on this side, we're doing the same thing. We've got another one over here that's kind of faced this way, like that. And let's see, how much space do I have between here and here? I've got not quite 2 inches between that one. It's about right. And then from the bottom of the vase, let me just see, from the bottom of the canvas to here is not quite 3 inches. So here, I'm a little high here, so I'm going to lower this. We're a little high here. We're going to lower this a little bit. We're going to lower the vase. There, we don't see a lot of the vase. We're just going to lower this whole thing back to where I had it. Okay, so then we've got basically, and then we're going to put some leaves, okay? But that's about all you need to know for now. Just kind of this arch. You see, we've got this, we've made this beautiful arch, yeah? And see, like the sound effects. And then I guess we've got here's a flower coming out like this. And if your flower's in a different place, I mean, it's, your arrangement, maybe somebody moved them. That could have happened, right? Got another one here, and then stuff. Okay. Basically, it's stuff. Here's another one. Kind of in between. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then there's a 4th one underneath. Yeah, there's the tulips right there. But you got to knit. This is pretty easy, yeah? Okay? That's like kind of draped over. So let's put the paint out while we're answering questions and talking. And I don't know, do we know when this silly show started? Do we have any idea when it started?
Oh, yeah, there's probably at least 2 or 3 minutes of dead air and stupidness and no talking and...
Well, can we go back to the other system? Do we have to use their beta thing?
Well, they forced me into it tonight.
Well, I think there was one day...
Unbeknownst to me.
One day this week where we're going to have to use their system, the beta system.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to actually try the new system.
Well, we don't like it. All right, so I'm good at putting out cad yellow medium. And let's see, I just put the cap. This cap doesn't want to go back on now. How annoying. And we want, of course, we want white paint. Yeah, everybody wants white paint. Any questions, John, while you're over there grumbling?
No, let's see. If you'd like to see Ginger's selfie, please. Van Gogh selfie. Ginger has not done
Ginger's
one
been painting like crazy, trying to get lessons for the Academy done, so we'll see how. I'm sure it would be great for me to do a selfie. I'm loving. I got a shout out to some of the ones that have done selfies. If you're wondering what that was about, let me just show you real quick. Last Monday, we painted this Van Gogh. It's on YouTube. We did this, and we challenged everybody in our Facebook club. And of course, you can join our Facebook club too, and then you're the part of the challenge. We said, listen, why don't you do a small painting of yourself, a selfie, and do it in these bright colors, kind of like Van Gogh did. Don't try to do it realistic. You know how he's got red around his eyes. Just have fun with this and see what you do. Whatever you do, it's fine. It's just, could you try it? And we've had all kinds of people try it.
Oh, they've been great.
And we've got a special album on our Facebook.
In the clubhouse.
In the clubhouse, in Facebook, in the clubhouse. And it's been fun. Every day people have been posting them and doing a great job. And I think people are surprising themselves. I know that Liz Clark, one of our moderators, said that she never would have tried this. Wouldn't have occurred to her. And it really, people have done such an amazing job of painting these. Some have been real fun and whimsical, and others have been a bit more serious. But, you know, sometimes it's a fun thing to do. If I have time, I will paint one. I will see where we are, because we have been painting till 2 in the morning every night just to try to catch up on our regular stuff. So,
can I use a 10 by 10? Do I have to change anything if I use a 10 by 10 canvas on this particular painting?
Well, a 10 by 10 is square.
Ooh, look at you!
I know, it's just awesome, right?
Right off the top of your head, you knew that.
You're really in a snippy mood today.
I've been talking to Snarky. You know, we've been getting together.
I'm sorry. If I had a water balloon, I'd throw it at you.
So you don't.
We would lose then.
No,
so
you
much,
would gain. You're 10 wide. You're going to get an extra 2 inches on the top. Just make your tulips higher.
Yeah, make the tulips a little higher, I guess.
Throw in a few extras.
Give yourself, maybe you could make the tulips a little higher then. You could give yourself a little more room. You could make the stems longer. Sure, that'd be nice. Could do that. Here's a little yellow oxide. If you have yellow ochre, that's okay. I'm just putting out paints and stuff while we're talking. I'll tell you what, this has been a screwy day. We're putting in an new alarm system in the house, and that was all good until we got the email saying, well, you need a permit. And then we're going, from who? And then they're saying, well, somewhere down in Houston, at least an hour and a half from where you are, is where you go to get the permit. But the good news is, if you're a senior, you don't have to pay for it, but you do have to show up and collect it, get it, right?
You have to get your secret number.
So you get the secret number. So then we went down and did that today. And then as long as we were out and about, we stopped off at the Chinese consulate and picked up our visa entry cards for China, they're good for 10 years. So that was the day. That was almost the whole day. Mostly, that took a long time. Houston, from where we live from Houston, it's in traffic, and you're just down for the count, at least for an hour to get downtown. All right, so what do we have? Oh yeah, some magenta. So that was fine, and that's the third trip down to the consulate to get the passports and visas, not the passports, the visas, and that in itself was real fun because they've got a lot of requirements. And for instance, we got sent home because we'd printed the information on both sides of one piece of paper.
Now, you think you'd put something like that on the website. Being a conscientious and tree lover, I thought I'd use both sides of the paper. Apparently in China, we don't want to do that.
Had to do that again.
No.
Had to come back after the first time.
Yeah.
So that's our third trip. Third trip down there, and today was the day we could pick them up. So we decided we'd get them when the getting was good. So apparently, if you ever want to go to China and you need a visa, the deal is, from what John and I were able to ascertain, you need to
pledge plan on visiting them twice.
You've got to find a real consulate or embassy. And, you know, you can't do it via the mail.
No, you can't do it by mail, and you can't do it by the internet.
And, you know, they do have, so, you know, and I'm not sure that every state has one. So I guess you just have to look up where they all are and see what kind of sojourn.
You can have an agent do it for you, though. You can hire an agent.
You can hire an agent to do it for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, that would be an interesting business, wouldn't it? So if someone lived in Houston, just offer to be an agent for passports?
I wouldn't want to deal with those every single day.
Well, I wouldn't want to go in there again if I had. I'm just saying, you know, it's just
I can wait 10 years before I go again.
Yeah. So
hey,
anyway,
we'd like to thank Carol for the donation. Have Miss Ginger's laugh and John's jokes. Oh yeah, Snarky's back. We're a snark.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. You know, tonight, the other thing we're going to be doing on our live show is giving away a couple of weeks in our academy.
We're going to give 3. One we gave away. She can't use it, and she'd like to forward it again. So we're going to pay it forward again. So we have 3 7 days going out and 2
3 7
downloads.
days going out and 2 downloadables. So you have a big chance of winning something tonight because you showed up live for us, and we appreciate it. So appreciate all the likes you're giving us now, going whoo, like, click, click, yeah.
And saves. Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Which paints are better, the Matisse or the Holbein?
You know, that's a really good question. What is better? I'll tell you that the top brands of paint, in my opinion, acrylic paint, that I have access to, and not that there's others in Europe and stuff that aren't really good, the ones I have access to in the States are Holbein, Liquitex, Golden, and Matisse, okay? And Matisse comes from Australia. And,
down under.
And down under. And so, for instance, at Hobby Lobby, was it Hobby Lobby that was having a big sale on Liquitex right now?
75% off.
How much? 75% off. And their heavy body paints are good. Do I like them as well as, say, Holbein or Matisse or Golden?
No.
No, but, you know, I used them for years and years before I discovered these others, you know. So, I mean, I used them for years. So, I mean, they're still good paints. The Holbein paints are a little more expensive. And the colors are so bright, you can overmix really quick. I mean, it's a little trickier to get sometimes the colors you want because it takes so much less paint to get it because the pigments are really saturated. But they do make some colors. They're the only ones that make a really bright pink. This kind of almost Pepto-Bismol color pink, which is really nice. And I've never seen anything quite like it. And they're a very nice paint, but we in the States only have access to the small tubes. I like the large tubes from Golden's. I like the caps from Liquitex. Liquitex has self-cleaning caps, which I think are extremely nice. Here's an example of a self-cleaning cap from Liquitex. But believe it or not, you can use a cap like this on Golden. You could, for instance, here's the golden yellow. That will with a larger one. Well, actually, that'll fit on a Golden, and that'll screw on a Golden. So people say, well, what do you like the best? Well, I like the caps the best on Liquitex, but I like the. Now I got that cap yellow. That was dumb, huh? But all right, it's all right. No panic.
I'm not saying anything.
Well, yes, you are. You're over there glowering at me. Now look what you've done. But I'll just soak it in water. But I'm just saying that. But look how it cleaned. Now look at this. Did you see how that was before? Do you see how it cleaned the throat of this golden paint tube?
Most people say it cleans the threads, but
it does.
Clean the throat.
That's the throat of the paint tube. You know,
I have never referred to the throat of a paint tube.
Well,
the throat of the paint tube is really not too good.
Look, I'm just going to look at that. It does.
No, we can't see. What are you holding it up? Oh,
here, like that. See, it's going to clean that, and now I'm going to put the other dumb little cap back on and see if it doesn't go on easier. Yeah, it does, too. Look at that. Well, kind of. Anyway, that's the idea. So, and nothing else save your Liquitex caps, right? They're good.
They're good for that. Hey, we'd like to thank Jamie for their donation. Thank you for all the wonderful lessons.
Oh, gosh, that is so nice, and we so appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My big tube of Matisse is a little runny. Is that normal?
Yeah, here's what happens to it. What's runny on your paints is it's the polymer that it's normally mixed into your paint.
Kind of separate a little bit.
And what happens is it's separated. So never had that with the golden tube of paint. Let's put it that way.
You never had it with Holbein either.
And never had it with Holbein. What, so.
So really our preference really is golden and Holbein.
Yeah, preference, yeah, pretty much. It is. I've got a bunch of Matisse, so we're using it up. But I mean, it's the colors. It's the heavy body. I would say use the heavy body paints. Again, other countries have different brands of good paints. I just say the better your paints and brushes are, the happier the results can be. How's that?
Happy results.
So, all right. So let's just take, just for the yucks of it, right? Let's just take a little angle brush and some white paint. And let's just, for the fun of it, I'm just going to do something like this, and just in 2 brush strokes, and the brush is dry.
Hobby Lobby is discontinuing Liquitex.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, they probably got tired of taking it back, huh? So, all right, so here we go. There's this, and then I'm just 1, 2 like this, and just do this like that. I'm just kind of, just sort of putting in where my flowers are going to be, yeah? Like that. I'm just.
And what color are you using now?
Just white.
Okay.
Just titanium white. I just wanted to put them in here, so this one's these kind of touch, so kind of like that. So these 2 touch. Here's one going this way. All right. And again, it's a dry brush. There's no water on it. And I've got another one going up here like that, and this one kind of touches. And I've got these. All right. So there's your tulips. Already you're going, wow, Ginger, that was so easy. I couldn't believe it. I know. Well, how about that, right? So now I've got white on the brush. Let's take a little bit of phthalo green, okay? And just for the fun of it, I think we said we were going to just come across here like that and say that's our vase, and then I'm going to widen this like that. Just a little phthalo green like that. And on this side, I want to make sure I curved it out a little more than I had it. And then when I get down here on the bottom, I'm just going to make a little phthalo green shadow like this, under here like that. And you're going, that's cool, yeah? I mean, there's not a lot to this. This is really simple. I think this would make a wonderful greeting card, a little card if you had someone who wasn't feeling well. You could whip this out in no time. It shouldn't take you a long time to paint it, okay? So basically, all we're doing is this, and then I want to say in the inside of the vase, I'm going to just maybe do a little half circle like that, and come under here like this, and that's all I'm going to do, okay? So when you think about that, I wish you would show do you have the painting of the salamander vase?
Of Jamie's?
No, mine, but you can show Jamie's. But we have in our academy, there's all different kinds of ways to paint vases. You can get really, really advanced and really, really easy. John, show them. This is one of our lessons, and I'm going to give a shout out to one of our academy members, Jamie Sykes. And she just finished this tutorial we have. And that's called the salamander. That was one of my, I want to put some of this background color in. So I can take this. This is called buff titanium. And if you don't have that, let me show you how to make it, okay? So somebody goes, Ginger, I just don't have buff titanium. And honestly, I understand why you don't, because I've had that tube paint sitting around there for years. I mean, it's not like it comes up a lot because it's probably just easy to make. But let me show you. Take a little bit of white and a little tiny bit of yellow oxide, like that. And where's my purple? I had some purple I was going to put out anyway. Where'd the purple go?
I didn't take it.
Well,
you had it. You picked it up. You looked at it.
Did I?
Yep.
Did I?
Yep.
I don't remember. Maybe. I had some yesterday.
No, you picked it up just moments before we went live.
Did we? Oh, look at that.
Is that blue? That's not blue. That's purple.
Oh, look at that. We'll see. Now, look, would you like to avoid having this happen to you? Should I show you how not to have this happen?
When you don't have your John around to take care of you?
Look, just put a little purple on the back of the paint tube. When it's upside down, then you'll know what it is, right? How clever is that? I tell people to do it. I should really practice what I preach on that stuff. It does work. It really does. Because what happens when your tube's upside down, you have no idea what color it is. Because these little cheap people, they only put the color on the front. So you have to do your own color on the back. All right, so tiny little purple, little tiny bit of purple, like less than 1%.
What colors we have out there?
Look at that. See? Are you impressed?
It's identical.
See? Just put a little purple and yellow oxide together with white, and you get this color. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, if you're doing this is a little bit easier. So I want to come along here like this, and using the flat of my brush, make these little circles, and I want to kind of just, this is the flat of my brush, there's no water on it. Just going to come around here like this and allow some of this background to show through. You really want to do that. Going to come around, see what I'm doing here? Kind of almost making, just, you can always come back and add more if you didn't get enough, right? But this is how we're, see how we're just kind of playing in here, around here, almost like a halo effect. And this is a neat way to do a vignette. So everybody understand how we made that color?
I do.
Now, how are they going to enter this contest, John, to win
Well,
things?
the link has been posted. They've already got entries going on, and we're moving forward over here.
Well, does anybody else know? I mean, I haven't said anything about it, so. Okay, so I'm going
You said what we're giving away tonight.
I did. We are giving. I did say that.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
I'll
was
tell you
there.
what, I have seen, you know, we have given away last week, I think we gave away a month to somebody, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing, I've already seen people take advantage of the person, you know, when you get a month, you get personal art coaching. It's wonderful to see the artwork that comes in from that. You know, it's really cool because it's exciting to see progress. And one of the things I love, you know, we've been doing the Academy for about 4 years, and one of the things I can go back and look at what people started with when they send me personal art coaching. I can see the paintings they started in. We've got a gal with the name of Wanda Spratt, and she started with us. She's been with me for a while, and she's now started taking she started the Wave and Water Masterclass, which, and people get a little intimidated by that. You don't have to be a master artist to take it, but if you paint the same subject over and over again in different ways, like waterfalls and oceans and rocks and all those things, you're bound to get better at it. So that's why we call it the Wave and Water Masterclass. And Wanda has certainly got better at it. And John, do you have any? Probably in the next break, we'll show you some of her paintings if you're not showing it now.
I'm not showing them
We'll,
right
we'll
now,
show
but
we'll show you that some of her paintings. I mean, we'll show you where she started and what she's doing now, and it just blows my mind because I think the thing that I want to say is that this is a learnable skill. Painting is a learnable skill. If you understand paint order, what you do every time you do it, you sort of train your mind to get a little better. Did you know that? You train your mind to get a little better. So I'm going to come in here in the vase here, and I'm going to put some of this. I don't want the whole vase, but I'm going to come next to here and just maybe just do this and suggest that there is some of this color in here, right? Maybe like that, and then we'll come outside like that. See, the one thing about glasses, you're going to see through whatever it is, and we're saying by the way we did this particular painting, we're saying that the glass has sort of a blue tint to it. All right, that's kind of what we're saying here. Okay. So,
hey, Ginger.
Yeah.
Do you know if Liquitex parchment is the same as the antique white?
You know, I don't, but I would think all of those would be good.
I think
right?
it'd be close enough.
I think they would be close enough. You know, antique white's nice. You know, I don't think it hurts to do have any of those colors. It just, you don't use them all the time, but when you want them, it's yes, can you mix them? Sure, you can mix them.
Of course you can mix them.
But sometimes you just want to be a little lazy and not mix them. How's that?
Well, we've always said if you're going to use a lot of a color.
It doesn't hurt to own it.
And, yeah.
And then, here's a trick too that I should tell you, is that when you're painting and you do a background, I don't care what the background is, keep a journal and write down what you did. So if you have to come back and you spill something on the background or you need to change it, you remember how you painted. You'd be surprised how often it happens that you have no idea how you made that blue sky or any of that. You know, you're sitting here going, well, I don't understand how I even did that. All right, now, you see kind of where we are with that? This is very simple, yeah? And I haven't done much. I've just done a little bit of this, yeah? Let's come under here and do a little bit of this under here too, right?
We'd like to thank Arthur Thomas for the donation. Hi, guys. Good to see you on the live shows. Please give something to an unexpected person.
Ooh!
I love to do that.
Let's do that. Let's surprise somebody. Thanks, Arthur. That is so cool. When we were on my birthday cruise, Art trimmed John's beard.
He's my personal, and if you're ever in Arizona, I highly recommend Arthur Thomas to take care of your beauty needs.
There you go, because he's normally a hairdresser and a really wonderful artist.
And he gave me a barn and tractor picture that I'm still waiting for from the Queen, which I'll never get. So thank you, Arthur. You're my hero.
Now I'm going to paint a little. I'm going to put a little of this.
See,
of
totally
this,
ignores
this
me.
blue.
I just talked to my staff.
I'm going to put a little of this buff color, this titanium with the phthalo green, and I want you to see. I've got a different color now. Do you see that? And I'm going to put a little of this in my vase, just a little bit, maybe a little bit stronger in here like this, and then as we come around the corners here, let's just come up here like this, and just there's no water on this brush, you guys. I'm just using a little angle brush, kind of scrubbing it in back and forth. And a vignette. Here's another trick you probably don't know. You want to force your eye down to the center of interest, and you can do that by darkening the corners of your picture. I was doing a pack today by a gal that's doing a really nice tiger, and the background colors were all the same. And if you just and I said in the personal art coaching video that I did for her, that if she would just darken the corners a little bit, and even it would give more. I guess what we're looking for is impact. A little bit more impact on the painting, just give it a little bit more drama. Just one of the things. That's a pretty easy thing to do. I would write that down. Who are you saying hi to? Who's that?
Snarky.
Is that Snarky?
Just saying hi to the gang. Seems like I'm being picked on today.
Yeah, well,
okay,
you keep
Snark.
shooting your mouth off, Snarky, and what do you expect? So, all right, so now we've got that, right? So far, so good? Any questions,
and
John?
yes.
Any questions?
Any question? Who's that? That's Snarky. That was Snarky.
Whatever, John.
Do most members do monthly? I have yet to sign up because I'm scared these all might be over my head. Patty.
Okay, Patty.
We have for you.
We have the solution.
We have a solution.
You are not the only person that said that.
We get it all the time.
And what you don't understand is that people that start with this never painted before, and they're doing the stuff like that vase within a year or two, because we have over 400 lessons, 200 of which are very basic beginner lessons, never painted before. And because of that, let me just move our
because
things.
We've been having
because
this issue.
Because of your comment and others like you, John and I have come up with
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give Patty a month.
Patty, you've got a month right now. Thanks to Arthur. Arthur, you've got a month.
And the other donations we got, Patty, you got a month.
Right now.
You twisted my arm.
All
you
right.
win it, Patty.
Woohoo! Let me show you. This is a new tutorial.
Sammy.
This is actually what we call an introductory tutorial into acrylics. Okay?
And it used to be called
One Cookie, but I'm calling them introductory because, I never like to use the word beginner because you may be a whiz at charcoal or watercolor or oil, but acrylics are different. So acrylics work differently than all the other mediums, and so this is what we call an introductory level painting. I have a step-by-step video, and this is going to be on our website and released this week. And we decided that we would release it free to everybody. It'll be for all our members, but also to anybody that wants to know what that is. Everybody, surprise, surprise, you guys. This will be on our website. Look for it. When can they look for it, John?
Soon.
Keep checking back because it'll be on the front page. This will be,
yes.
and then that's introductory. And then we went ahead and said, okay, so once you get those skills, and in this lesson, I show you how to paint, blank canvas, how to sand it, how to spray the back so that that doesn't, so how to tighten it up, how to trace on an image easily, even if you don't have sterile transfer paper. I show you how to, do all this stuff. It's a cool lesson. And then the next one, the next one is what we call intermediate, yes? And in this one, which will be coming soon in the Academy, this lesson is going to show you more about blending these purples. And this is a different style of painting, a bit more impressionistic, a little looser on how to do an apple. This is what we call an introductory. So these would be a 2 cookie level. So basically we have between 1 and 2 cookies on our Academy. We have over 400 tutorials that are 1 and 2 cookie already, but these will be free for people to try out a 2 cookie or
so you can
an intermediate.
See how we actually teach, because it's not like this.
Yeah, it's not like this. It's just me and you, man. There's no John and the peanut gallery over there.
Hey.
And there's just me and you. And
No
then
love.
the next one that is going to be in the series, and this is what we call a more advanced, not advanced, what are we calling this? Proficient. This is a 3
So
cookie.
your
or
skill
what
level, you've reached a proficient level.
And you see, you've learned how to do a background like this, and you've learned how to do, see, the bottom part, see, got yes and yes. And we're going to show you how to do blending and how to do the apple on the books. And that's what we call a 3 cookie or proficient level. Okay, and then and then we also have the one that we showed you before, the salamander vase, that would be like expert level. Okay,
that's the advanced.
That would advanced or expert. So, yep. But you can get there. You can get there. We're going to show you step by step how to do it, and we have more lessons than anybody could possibly do, which is fine because not everybody wants to paint flowers, and not everybody wants to paint old cars, and we just have a lot of different ways that you can learn to paint. And that being said, we'll keep going here. But that was a great question, and congratulations on being surprised for your month at the Academy, which also comes with personal art coaching.
So Patty, fill out the contest form. If you've already done it, do it again, and put in the secret word, I'm a winner.
There you go, Patty.
Woohoo, I'm a winner.
All right, so you've seen we've got the tulips here, right?
Yes, we do.
Now we're going to take a little bit of phthalo blue and phthalo green, make a dark green color, yeah?
It's up there.
And what I want to do here is suggest that we've got underneath here, I'm going to suggest that we've got some stems coming down here like this, just using a little angle brush. I'm going to start putting some stems. See, I'm going to curve them here this way, and I'm going to come right under here and make this dark, curve it this way. And make sure that your stems are touching the bottom. Let's see, you've got to keep them inside the vase. So let's put a little dark line here where our
when we painted
vase
the
is.
salamander, you had the one coming almost to the out.
Yeah, so what are you telling tales out of school there again, Snarky over there?
Yeah, it was funny.
You
Hey, we'd like to thank Eric and Deborah for the donation. Eric, what did Eric say? Nothing. Little word from Eric, which is unusual. And Deborah said, thanks for being you. Use this how you think best.
Thank you very much. This is fun. It's fun, and you're helping everybody else too, so this is great. All right, so right here on the corner of this vase, right? I want you to make a curve like that. Just make a curved line like that. Can you do that? Yes, of course you can. Now, I want you to come around, follow it up like this, and then follow it up like this on this side, and then paint it in. There's your curved leaf. You can do that, right?
It really works well with those angled brushes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and incidentally, I'm going to give a shout out to our friends over at thebrushguys.com. You can say a lot about all the other companies online that sell brushes, that sell ruby satin silver short handle brushes too. But what I like about the Brush Guys is that they have honored our YouTube and our Academy artists by offering a 5% discount. It's year round. It's not some sort of screwy deal that happens once in a while. 5% off if you use my name, Ginger Cook, on anything you order, whether it's Art Chirper, my daughter's brushes, or doesn't really matter. They don't really care.
All one word, Ginger Cook,
all one word,
together.
though. You have to do it all one word. If you do it 2 words, it won't work, okay? And they're really awesome about that. So I'm going to come up here like this, maybe do one like this. See here, like parentheses. Here's another little. Let's just bring this down in here. We know we want it a little bit darker down in here. Sometimes it's easier to just paint dark where you know you've got to have it, right? So we're just going to come under here like this, and maybe I'll stop about there. Say, I know I want all this dark. One of the things when you're painting something, for instance, ask yourself, what do I know for sure? Those are wonderful questions. What do I know for sure? Because you'll be surprised at what you do know for sure. Here's, like, for instance, here's this tulip, and then we've got another one of these dark leaves coming out here like that. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in around this one like that. Okay, that's a dark one. I've got this as a dark one. Might want a dark one up this way. Then we're going to start lightening stuff up, but this is pretty good right here like that. Okay. See how we're just gradually filling in the vase, and I think now if we add a little bit more yellow to this and a little white, now look what happens, a little white and yellow. Now we've got a lighter green. Do you see that? Very nice bright light green. So now I can add some lighter leaves. And you know, if your leaves, that's okay. Let's put a little more yellow with that. I think I want a little bit more yellow. Here we go, like that. There it is. That's brighter. Put one there. Going to put a little more green, a little bit of phthalo green with that. Make this slightly darker. I'm going to have another leaf that's kind of coming in front of this one, doing that, just curving around like that. And then let's lighten it up even more and say, here's one right here next to it. See, remember, we're going to follow this around like this. And let's say this is another lighter leaf coming around this way, that kind of making the curve, yeah? Maybe a little more yellow with it. A little bit of yellow. Here we go, see? There we go, there's that one. Yes and yes. That's pretty simple. So you've got this leaf, and this leaf, okay? And then if we wanted, we could, for instance, say that there's a darker green. You know, you want really 3 greens on this. You want the light green, the middle green, and the dark green. So let's, between these tulips, let's just do some dark green up here like that, I think. Let's just say there's some dark. I think that'll make it a little easier. We can still put light on top of it, but we're just going to fill that in with some dark, like that. I think that'll be easier. Okay, so back to our light green. We know that, well, maybe this is the middle one. Right here on the edge, we're going to put another one of these leaves coming off. Just curve it around like that. And then a light one on top. Now, here's what's happening. If your paint's drying out, you're probably putting too much water on the brush. I don't have any water on this brush. I'm just using paint, all right? So now I'm going to come up here like this and overlap this one like that. Maybe put a little bit of white and yellow with it. I want this a little bit lighter. I'll overlap this one, okay? Now, you with me? Because we're going to do something kind of tricky here. Now, nobody panic, all right? Right about here, probably about 2 fingers up, I'm going to just do a little, like a top of it, like a little bird flying. And I'm going to curve this around like this, and then make this little leaf right there, see? Kind of give it like a little, maybe the letter M, top of the letter M, like this, okay? Put a little leaf like that. So far, this is pretty easy, yeah? Everybody's good with this, right? I'm trying to go slow, not real fast, not trying to scare anybody, yeah? Okay, want a little bit more green. Maybe this is my middle green. See this little flower right here? I want a little green leaf next to here like this, maybe coming out behind this one, and another one right here. Okay. And I could put, I have one there, but I don't have room for this one. But I could come up here and expand on this leaf right here, like that. All right? And what we're doing is we're kind of balancing it out, all right? That's what we're doing. We're sort of balancing it out. And we can always lighten and adjust colors. Like, for instance, if this needs to be lighter, I can put some more yellow with it. Or if I need to have this lighter, okay, I can lighten this up, okay? But you see how we've got our colors. And now at this point, you know, because our tulips are all white, you've got some choices you could make. You could do just all pink tulips or all yellow tulips. You could, if you wanted to. You're not obligated to do the purple and the orange like I'm doing, okay?
But why did you use purple and orange?
Well, I did because orange is the complement of purple. And if you ask me what we mean by that, is that...
What do you mean by that?
There, so glad you asked. It's because orange and turquoise are across each other on the color wheel. And those are colors that have a what they do is that when your eye looks at those, it does something to your senses. And we have just like everybody likes sugar, kind of like that, right? And you like it. And so whenever you can use complementary colors in a painting, this is very helpful. Red is the complement of green, and yellow is the complement of purple. So when we did a little bit of the yellow and orange in these, we played off both the complements of the purple and the complements of the turquoise, which is why I did it this color, okay? But it's okay. But that's why we did it. All right, so we're still into the light color. Get a little paint here, and I'm going to say that I've got a little bit of a stem coming. Let's just start with some white and yellow. I'm trying not to dry anything. Here we go, like this. Just hold your paint like this. Now, I think I'll stop it there, and I've got a little something coming this way. I've got a something light coming up this way. Maybe a little light leaf coming out that way. And, oh, yeah, here. Gosh, you guys, let's do this. Let's put some light. You know, the one thing about tulips is that they have a lot of greenery on their, you know, they don't just, not like roses where they have a long stem and a flower. The tulips have a lot of greenery on their stem too. So you can get this fairly wide, and I'll put this, probably even make this a bit thicker in here. Don't want that big glob of paint down here like this. Maybe we'll just do this a bit darker. All right, so see how you've got this feeling of being able to see through it, okay? And you want to make sure that you bring your stems down into the bottom of the vase, okay? That you want to make sure you've got that so that you feel like they're attached somehow, okay? And I think I want a little bit of dark under here, and maybe I'll go a little further with that too. Something like that. So you just have a little bit of dark. Maybe we'll put a little stem here like that. So that's what we've got so far, and that's kind of cute before we added anything else, yeah? Any questions, John?
No, but we're going to have a giveaway because it's time to.
Oh, good. Let's do that.
We're going to do a 7-day giveaway.
Okay.
I use, instead of using our electronic devices, we found a system called random.org that uses the sound, the ambient sound, to create random numbers.
If I dried this, you want to mute me and still talk to everybody?
I get to actually mute you?
You do. Why don't you do that while you're giving the giveaway?
Oh, this is so much fun.
All right.
No, wait, I have to find out which microphone, because I had the wrong one this afternoon. You were. Okay, so talk.
Talking.
Talk again.
Talking again.
Okay, now talk.
No, I'm talking.
Oh, you're gone. Okay, so we're going to have the 7-day giveaway. We're going to pick up her noise in the background. And so like I said, we have a website called random.org, which uses the ambient sound to generate its seed numbers. I know it's programming stuff, but it's so cool. And then we found it to be a lot more random than the girls were being. That would be the Alexa and Echo. And they couldn't hear me with the hairdryer going. So we have Karen Collins is the first 7-day Academy winner. I think you're back on now, boss.
I'm back on? Oh, good. This is dry. Congratulations, Karen. Awesome.
And if you are a winner this evening, you will get an email from me after the show. And the email is techbearservice@gmail.com.
Yeah, look for that.
Look for that. Look for that, Tech Bear.
Okay, so...
Now, before we go on, since you're in a moment, should we talk about Wanda, since we brought her up earlier? I can slide him right over.
I want to talk about Wanda because
Okay.
Wanda, I just really want to give a shout out on air. We do that on Facebook sometimes, give shout outs. I want to give a shout out on the air to Wanda because I think she's made just huge progress. She's a senior. Incidentally, we still offer senior discounts in our academy, by the way. How old do you have to be a senior, John?
Currently at 60.
60. And it's also for veterans, and if you got extenuating circumstances, write us.
Yeah.
You never know. Nothing's ever written in
people.
stone. Yeah, so what about Wanda? Did you show Wanda?
Okay, what we have up in Wanda is the one on the left, which is her, what was it called, Golden Beach? It was the square
Sunsets.
Golden Beach.
Yeah.
That was an original one she did like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And then the next one is the one that she just finished up with, Ginger on, with some packs.
With the personal art coaching. But even that one she did on her own, without the personal art coaching. I was so impressed, but she had made such progress. I just said, it's perfect, don't change anything. I loved it. I want you to see the kind of progress people make. And not that everybody makes progress, and it just, having an outside pair of eyes that, unbiased eyes, maybe professional eyes that can look at your painting and make a few suggestions, say tweak this or that, and sometimes that's all anybody needs, and it can be very effective. So good job, Wanda. The other thing I want to show too is if you notice the T-shirt I'm wearing, yeah.
Oh, I do. I love that T-shirt.
This is dry.
Art for the soul.
Art for the soul. And this is one of our academy. I don't know if you can't see the picture, but it's down below on our stuff. But let me just show you. If you're not a T-shirt person, though, I have to say I love these T-shirts. Here's our little totes.
Oh, wait. Who's got this? Sammy, give me the zoomer.
Zoom back out. Here's one of our totes, right?
There we go.
And look, I joined, the cat did it. I love that. And we haven't, I think the other saying is,
Oh, it's on my back.
oh, what's the other saying on it, John? What's your saying? Oh,
Do you see it?
life obliges me to do something, so I paint.
Yep.
That's the other, I love that one. It's a quote from a famous old dead artist. Life obliges me to do something, so I paint. So that's one of our totes, which I think are really cool. And then here's this one from the, remember we did the painting last week, but Let It Go. Here's this one, little tote. We also have these as t-shirts. I really love that. And then here's the picture of what I'm wearing tonight on my t-shirt, Art for the Soul. And
That's one of my favorites.
This is Mulberry Hill is the name of the tutorial.
And that's
These are
a
all
great lesson.
This is an academy lesson. Van Gogh is a YouTube lesson, and the cat did it is a YouTube lesson.
Yeah.
If you haven't painted those, I think those are really fun. Eric did his beagles, just huge, huge. They're great.
He doesn't know how to do small stuff.
No, he does, but it was really impressive. So anyway, I think those are kind of neat. I think you should, think about those. All right, so.
And if you're looking for a link for those, look into right below the description of where we're showing. They're on the screen. It's part of the T-shirts.
Now I'm just going to briefly show you. This is my iPad. And I'm just going to briefly show you. Can you see this without the glare?
Yeah.
You see, this is kind of the genesis for my flowers. I didn't make them this tall, though if you were doing the 10 by 10, you might want to make them a little taller, right? But this was just some flower arrangement you could get. But you see but instead I added a glass vase. And these were very simple tulips, with just very U-shaped. Didn't take a lot. That was sort of the genesis for my painting. So I think we're going to start with them.
Before you go too much further, Luann was asking, why am I hearing people congratulating things before I even know it? I haven't heard it. Again, this goes with the whole technology. The audio is going to be delayed versus the text if I type it. So the text will come up first, even if I say it first, because I don't know how much of a delay it is.
Depending on everybody's computer's different. So we do the best we can, right?
So just congratulate people that win and smile.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my. I want to make sure that this is my lavender tulip. So that's the magenta color. And let's put a little tiny bit of purple with that. We'll make part of that a little bit darker. Okay. Like that, a little bit darker. And we're going to say, here's our tulip here, and I'm just going to use my angle brush like that. I'm just going to basically kind of put them in. I think this one goes here. But and I'm going to do this one here. Just make that a little pinker maybe. A little bit more, change that slightly. We were in Holland, not too long ago, but we missed the tulips. Kim Carr got to see them. We missed the tulips, but when we got to Russia and places like that, the weather, we still saw some. Not, of course, the giant tulip fields. But we did see some. All right, so I've got 4 purple ones, and we have some purple flowers. This is pretty easy, and I'll take a little bit of purple here, and maybe just, while it's still wet, just do the tips of these. Just something like that.
Hey, we'd like to thank Andrew for the donation. Just to let you know how appreciated you both are.
Thank you, Andrew. That makes me cry. Thank you very much.
And we have one of his paintings up here we're going to do tonight.
Yeah, we have actually, and we had it before you gave us that too. We were planning, we're going to show one of Andrew's paintings tonight too. The thing about it is that Andrew lives on a Caribbean island in the middle of nowhere. No offense, Andrew,
what
but
do you
you
mean?
do.
It's not, wait, lives on a Caribbean island in the middle of nowhere. Okay, he's in the Caribbean. That is somewhere. He's on an island. It has a name.
And he has internet. He has an internet, okay? And he has a business on this island. But the thing of it is that, and then he travels a lot. So Andrew's been doing Academy with us for, several years now. And it's very convenient for him, too. Because here's what technology has done. Do you remember how much it used to cost just to phone a friend across town if they...
Oh, even across the street if you happen to be in the dividing line.
If you were in the dividing line, right? And I remember how many people had fantastically great fights with family members over long distance phone bills. You know, remember that?
Oh yeah, you called me. I called you last time. It's your turn.
Yeah, and then my mother had an egg timer, and that was it. You know, no, my dad didn't even like to talk on the phone at all. It was just too upsetting to think how much all this cost. Now we live in a generation, the kids have no idea. You guys know what I'm talking about, where it's just so much easier. You can call Europe. Can you imagine? It was like calling Mars. When I went to boarding school in Switzerland, calling home took like 3 hours to get the call through. Maybe it was 5. It was a deal. There was no little underground cable that went from under the ocean to Switzerland.
And no satellites that did
no
that.
Satellite.
That's what we use now. You know, satellites. We go up.
Oh, well, whatever we do. I don't know what we do, John, but whatever we do.
It's all magic. It doesn't matter.
It's all magic, man. And people have cell phones. I mean, it's magic.
It was phenomenal. We were on the ship, and we would call back to the moderator, check in on things.
Yep.
And it was like they were next door.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. And our email goes everywhere. And with that, now we've got these, how this works is, if you want to see what personal art coaching is like, go to our Tech Bear channel, the techbear.com, Tech Bear on YouTube, right?
Yeah, look
the
for
Tech
the
Bear.
Tech
How do
Bear.
you spell the Tech Bear, John?
I spell it TheTechBear.
All right,
Tech Bear.
The Tech Bear. Good. So So we have a playlist there of probably 10 or 12 videos for personal art coaching that different members have said, sure, show mine as an example. So you want to see what it's like. Technology is amazing. That being said, let's go on with the... Now, here's the thing. Compliments. Yes. Compliments. Compliments. Color wheels and compliments.
Do you want me to get up again and walk over and just hand it to you?
You know how to do that? Are you empowered to do that?
Probably.
I
Because
give
I can
up.
just scan for 2 seconds and
Where's the color wheel?
find it.
Perfect. All right, so purple and yellow
Our buddies.
are buddies. Now here's the bad side.
Uh-oh.
They're also enemies.
How can that be?
They're buddies and they're enemies. It's a love-hate relationship, all right? So when you take purple and yellow and mix it together,
You get a beautiful brown.
you get a beautiful, horrible, muddy brown. So, and you can put a little white with this. All right, so that being said, right, if you want some nice, beautiful yellow tulips over the white, you want to make sure you do not have any purple on your brush because you've just been painting purple flowers. So this is where you're, where it can go south on you really quick. So here's take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white paint like that, and I'm going to just say here's the insides of my yellow tulips. It doesn't take long to paint these, and maybe even a dash of, don't make them all the same color. Here's a little bit of yellow oxide on this one here like that, and like this one here like this, a little bit of yellow. Here we go. So, all right, so I'm saying that there's my yellow tulips. Yes and yes?
Pretty.
They're pretty easy to do, okay? Now, what you want to do is you take a little bit of Cad Red Medium in yellow, make this little orange color, and you can come up on the sides, and I'm going to just sort of shade the tulip on this side and maybe up from the bottom. Do something like this. And the same thing here. I'm just going to say there's that. Get a little more paint. Make sure that you kind of reload your paint. Get this a little bit more raggedy. You don't have to, have everything photo perfect. Does that make sense? You can suggest these tulips without going too crazy. Here's a little bit of purple, rather orange. We're going to that's Cad Red Medium actually. We're going to make this one a little bit darker. Here, a couple places. There we go. There, just 1, 2, 3, and just stop. Just kind of some bright colors and stop. Take advantage of the fact that it's your mind and everybody else, the viewer's mind is going to kind of put that together for you. All right. Let's bring this up a little bit. Let's just kind of close off that side of it. There we go. All right. So then, if you've got that, orange is a little bit toward, orange is red and yellow, right? So then we're getting into the enemies of, even though they're complementary colors, red and green are enemies in the sense that if you get a lot of red into green, it makes a muddy color. So if you wanted to put green over this orange, it could, and the orange was still wet, it could go badly for you. So just understanding, just as color books, just have one and understand it's your complementary colors, but it's also your enemy colors.
Love-hate relationship.
It's a love-hate. It really is a love-hate relationship, which is why they're opposite each other, right? They're not,
They can't be on the same side of the wheel.
Yeah, no.
It won't
So
work.
I'm going to dry this, and John, perhaps you'd like to show Andrews why I'm drying this. Yes,
Wait a minute,
yes?
I got to remember which button I pushed for you.
Okay.
I forget.
Why don't you put nail polish on the right button?
Why'd you put nail polish on the right button? I muted you. Yeah, she's gone. All right, this is from Andrew. We have a before pack and after pack. I'm going to give you the before. The pack is the personal art coaching. And then we got to get the second one. Oh, she's back already.
That's okay.
Hold on a second.
You still talking?
There's the second one. You want to be on? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So this is the before is on the left, and the after is on the right. You want to take it over there, boss?
Yeah. So what you'll notice is in his before, which was beautifully done, he was missing some of the lights and darks, and he had a very straight angled line going in front of those houses. And you'll notice that when he changed that, look at how he added light by the light next to the figure. Those greens got lighter, and he broke up that straight line with plants. So sometimes it's very subtle stuff. It was a beautiful painting before, but then he just took it that next step. And everybody's got a next step in their painting. There's always a next step. You can always do something more. And what happens is Andrew will email me a photograph of his painting. I get it in a ticket system. I look at it on my computer, and then I turn on the camera on the video recorder on the computer, which records my voice and whatever I'm doing with my mouse and stuff. And I talk, and sometimes I take it into a painting program, and I change it and show you what it would look like to be changed. Sometimes you hear my voice saying, "Gosh, you're amazing. I sure love this." That's fun too, right? So anyway, that's how personal art coaching works with us. And then you get the picture, you can have access to that recording, you can play it over and over again, that kind of thing. Get the thing.
There you go.
So, we have in our Facebook club, John and I don't run that. We have these fabulous moderators, and they moderate the whole club. And one of our moderators, Mona, we were able to see in Switzerland. In Sweden. We met her in Sweden, and it was a big deal. She had to get a ride with her brother. It was about an hour and a half into the city. She hadn't been in Stockholm in a long time, and it was a big deal for her to meet us. And Mona's really good with a camera. She had just gotten a new camera, and she sent me this recently, this book. It's called Stockholm, May 27th, 2019. Here's a picture of Stockholm, and she made this photo book. There's a picture of John and I, Ginger and John, finally here in Stockholm, Sweden. Now, see the heart. Isn't this cute? I got to show you this book, right? And then here's some photos that she took of us.
Well, you got to back out a little bit because we're wired.
Here's John, right? There's John. There's Mona. There's a picture of Mona and me, and there's a picture of me, and there's John. And there's some of the buildings in Stockholm. And this was a stuffed fox with a mask on, which we thought was kind of cute. We were walking down an alley, and Mona was just busily taking pictures. How cool is that, right? So anyway, she sent me this beautiful, look at that with the little dots. How clever. Here's a picture of myself outside a store, and if you'll notice that it says Virginia's. Well, some of you may not know this, but Ginger's a nickname. Virginia's my real name.
Get out of here.
I know. It's shocking, isn't it?
When did that happen?
So anyway, and I think this, we went down the street, and this was, my daughter Cinnamon's birthday's coming up July 1st, and I picked up her birthday present in here. And so there's this statue of this little boy and this horse. There's some just photos of that she took, which I think are beautiful. Look at that fountain. Isn't that gorgeous? And this clock tower. This was
a little touch of Stockholm for you.
Wonderful little thing of Stockholm, and here we are at the end with pictures of us. And there was even the changing of the guard. We got to see that. And she's got a picture of us. I love this. I thought this was so sweet, Mona. I'm just so grateful. And you know what this tree is? We saw a lot of these trees. We saw them in Cork, Ireland. We saw them in Sweden. We saw them in Russia.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. What were they? Do you remember? I just knew it now. I forget.
Is it a chestnut?
chestnut trees. Chestnut trees. And so they're covered with flowers. And this was one of the largest ones I ever saw.
It's a
All
very
right,
big one.
so she sent me that as a gift just recently, and this beautiful Vincent van Gogh Gardens. It's a book of his different garden paintings. And
So you may see some of those in the future?
So you may see some of those in the future, right? But this was lovely, so I won't show you the whole book, but she sent that. And some nifty candy from Sweden, some very interesting candy that has been
right
gobbled up in the studio. Just a few pieces left. There it is. It's called Bilar Original. You know, tradition. Since 1953, they started making this candy. So anyway, that was a wonderful gift from Mona. And then Mona then just sent us today, is a really kind thing. She sent us, she sings beautifully, and she sent us a song of her. We can't play it because of copyright issues on YouTube, but we will play it. We're going to play it at our wedding. You know, when John and I get married next year, we've got the recording. We're going to play at the wedding. Mona can't come, but she's been invited. But okay, so I'm going to paint this a little more. Are we good with? You want to do another giveaway real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because you're getting done.
Yeah, I'm not quite done, but to paint this a little more.
Done. All right, so we're going to go for a downloadable lesson, a 1-credit downloadable lesson now. And we've got a lot of entries now, 182. So I'll give it that number.
So you're still, John's looking? And you can still hear me. One of the things, wait, are you looking?
I'm looking. You can go ahead and do your thing.
All right, so one of the things you want to remember is acrylics is all about layers. And if you're new to acrylics, you see how this leaf has gotten a little darker? If I take a little bit of white and yellow paint into the green, just a little bit, right? Brush is damp, that's all it is. It's just slightly damp. I can come up here like this and just lighten this leaf up. Don't be afraid to do layers. Turn the lights on again. If it starts to dry out on you, turn the lights on. Be aware that you want to do that. For instance, I know that, for instance, I might want to come up here with a little bit of this green color. I'm just using phthalo green and yellow now. Maybe come up this way. You know how tulips always have a little bit on the side here. And we'll put some more stems. Do something like this. Maybe just lighten up that. Maybe lighten up this a bit. Lighten up that. And I think I could lighten this up. I'll put a little bit of phthalo blue and yellow together and make a different green. Make that a little darker. Just, there we go. Let's put a little white with that. I want a darker green, but not that dark. There we go. Okay? So, don't be afraid to start enhancing your colors, right? Maybe we want a little bit something here like that. All right, now I want to put in here, I want to put those little tiny flowers, and so I'm going to clean my brush very well, and I'll show you the flower on my chalkboard. Who's the winner, John? Go ahead.
It is Kathy. Kathy Osser.
Kathy Osser?
Osser. O-S-I-E-R. Now you'd say it?
Yeah, Kathy Osser. Okay, so you guys follow me.
Downloadable 1-credit lesson.
Congratulations, Kathy. Expect an email from us. Congratulations. See what I'm doing here? Yeah, everybody's with me on this? These little flowers like that, okay? Kind of like forget-me-nots. That's what we're painting, okay? Yes?
That's what we're painting?
Like that. So we're going to take the magenta and white. Get a little glob of white paint here. A little bit of magenta. Don't mix it too well, like that. Now, I'll come up here like this. Don't get it. Using just the corner of this brush, okay? I'm just going to, let's see, a little more white with that. Here, come here, you. Because I got to have it show up. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then I'll do one over here, like a little X maybe, if that would be helpful. Little X. Here's one here, 2, 3, 4. They kind of overlap, they touch. And then we'll put in a few this way. I thought these were kind of nice. And we'll want some under the paint. And then you can just do a few dots. And then I've got a bunch in this little dark section here. Here's my white paint. Let's just get it all over here. So just use the corner of your brush and just dab, 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 dab. And then over the edge, bring this growing over the edge.
That will give your painting depth.
Yeah, this may be on top of this leaf right here. We've got some, remember, acrylics are all about layers. We have these up here like that. And you see, now what you do is you take a little bit of the white paint, just pure white, and come back over while it's still wet and touch it. And it will, while it's still wet, it'll sort of blend into that. Does that make sense? It's going to grab that purple, and you're going to get the sort of gradated, you can't really get it any other way. See, again, you do this while it's still wet. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry if they're not perfect. They'll be fine. Okay? So those funny little ones. Then maybe I'll just say bring up a little bit of light here on one of these tulips. Maybe here, just do a little more definition. They got a little dark on me, so that's okay. This is what white paint's for, light paint. There we go, lighten up this. There, like that, something like that. So you've got a little bit more contrast on your tulips. And I'll put a little of this purple down in here, and I want a few little purpley
Petals.
little petals down in here like that. Just keep them flat. If you have a petal going down, it's falling. You see what I'm just doing? That's falling, okay? If it's level, it's sitting on something, okay?
What size brush is that you're using there, boss?
This is a little 3/8 inch super ruby satin silver angle brush.
I probably would have gone to a quarter myself, but
You know, well, you've got a great control over it. And you just want a
you
little.
do, because you just use a little tip of it.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a little dark line. Sometimes,
Dab,
there
dab.
might be a little dark line right here on these, like that. There you go, something like that. And you've got your tulips, and that's pretty easy, right? So, speaking of birthdays, and we were talking about stuff like that. Speaking of birthdays.
When were we talking about birthdays?
Oh,
With
my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, daughter.
But so she and I got together last week and we were talking about it, and she thought, you guys know where's the art Sherpa. We thought it might be fun this Saturday to do a collab. This is a special YouTube show that we normally don't do Saturdays, but we're going to do it, and it's going to be horses, and that was our theme, was horses, and this is going to be the painting I'm going to be doing.
Oh, that's just not working. My goodness.
Can you back it up?
Yes. We have a big eyeball looking at us.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that. That's going to be the
That's our horsey.
That's our horsey that I'm going to be painting. She's going to be doing a black one. She's going to be doing a 2-color painting, just black, and hers is 2 colors. Mine is in purples with blues, and phthalo blues and purples and white. Those are my colors I'm using, and a little tiny bit of complementary color we saw. I threw that in at the end. So I'm going to show you a really easy way to do this. We're going to grid it on. It's going to be, this is a 12 by 12, and we're starting off with just a dark purple canvas. So if anybody wants to join us on Saturday, it will be at 2 o'clock Central Time.
What time is she going?
She's going, I think, about 11:30.
Okay.
Because they've got a graduation they have to go to. So we're going to start right after her. So if it'll be as close to 2 o'clock as when she's done, we'll start. It'll be 2 o'clock or slightly after, depending on when she's finished. Okay. So we hope you and she's going to be talking about that on her show too. So this is the collaboration we're going to be doing. And I know this looks complicated. We have a lot of horse tutorials on our channel, or rather on our academy. We haven't done any on YouTube, but we've got some beautiful ones. We'll talk about those during the show. So that, I wanted to apprise you of what's coming up. Yes and yes. All right, so if you're liking this, do we have any more giveaways, John?
Oh, of course we do.
All right, why don't you do a couple now?
Okay, boss.
Okay, and I'm going to just sort of tidy this up a bit here. All right, so
let me just see what Jules is asking. It looks like you're painting the lighter paint, and it will be adding the more vibrant oranges or reds on top, or is this just my phone monitor showing incorrect colors?
Your phone monitor showing incorrect colors.
I think so.
sorry.
And that's one thing. I mean, when you're looking at things, and monitors are all different, unless they're color calibrated to a certain standard, it's just a crapshoot.
It is. I'm going to make this tulip just like
7-day membership is coming up next.
Okay.
And we're up to 198.
All right, so we got almost 200 people entering. So this will be fun. I'm going to just add a few little light stems, the white and phthalo green, right? I think I want to come up here to this tulip right here and add just suggest a stem coming this way, like that. And let's pick a little bit of white paint. Sometimes you just need a little bit of just white, because this is all pretty wet here. Let's just do that here. Make sure your brushes, you don't get globs of paint on your brush. Okay, let's pull some light stems in here. Okay, and I think I want to lighten this up again, this leaf up here, and maybe just give it a little bit of a dark outline here like that. Okay, so now we're coming along here, you guys. You can see how we're getting that. We're just almost done with this picture. We've got a few little white highlights on. So who's winning here, John?
That would be Kristen Caraway, Carraoa.
Oh, congratulations, Kristen.
7-day winner. Again, we will email you with further instructions.
Okay. So let's see. Do I want to just take a little bit of this color now here? Let me make sure I don't have any white on the brush. I want to say that I want a little bit darker right next to the vase. I want a little bit darker shadow right here. Okay, like that, and maybe just something inside. And then I'm going to start putting some white highlights, okay, you guys? So do you have another giveaway, John?
I do. I'm doing it now, boss.
All right,
it's going to be another downloadable.
Another downloadable lesson. And the question comes up, what are downloadable lessons as opposed to what we do in the Academy? A downloadable lesson is one when you win one of those, we have a whole library of these, and they're between this is a 1 credit downloadable. Well, they go up to 3 or 4 credits, but there's a ton of them that are just 1 credit. What happens is you can watch it right there up on the internet, or if you want to download it to your computer, you just own it. And you can just keep it if you're going camping or just going somewhere where you don't have internet, you can still play the lesson, you own it forever. Where if you're in part of our art school, if you're not a member anymore, of course, the lessons stay with us. But otherwise, you can own them. Speaking of that, here's one of our newest lessons coming up in, are we backed out a little bit here?
Oh, good.
Can you back out?
You know, you really need to talk to the staff over here.
Okay.
Where'd it go?
Here.
There it is. Oh, I love this one.
This is the azaleas from the Azores. This is a new Academy lesson that's going to be coming up. I think we're releasing it this week, yes?
Yeah, it was supposed to be last week's.
Yeah, so this is coming up. This is, again, another 12 by 12. This is called Azore Azaleas. And again, new Academy lesson that's coming up. And then we also have, for our Wave and Water Masterclass, this was really, trying to think of the artist's name.
Guy.
Huh?
It wasn't Guy Rose?
Guy Rose. Guy Rose was an American artist in the late 1800s. He went to school in Southern California, and this is the Southern California coast. Isn't that pretty? And that's our Wave and Water Masterclass release coming up. So again, what I loved about this was how soft and subtle he did the hillsides and the erosions of the cliffs and everything. And in California, I lived in Southern California for years, and it gets hot, and this yellow sky is very similar to another lesson we have from called Ecuador, where the artist showed heat of summer.
And very similar colors.
Colors, and this is where the grass all dries up here, and this is what happens in Southern California in the summer. And I thought this was a great, wonderful painting, and something a little bit different in our Wave and Water Masterclass. That's coming up. So who's our winner?
Heather Pentecost. Pentcost. 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 Winner of a downloadable, 1 credit downloadable lesson. And again, instructions will follow.
Awesome! Congratulations, Heather. That's super. So are we kind of out of things to give away? We still get a few more?
I'm afraid we got more. People have been making donations, so we keep giving.
Oh my gosh, you guys are fabulous. All right, so
That's just the kind of people we are.
while he's doing that, I'm going to show you something, right?
What are you going to show?
So I'm going to just go ahead and take the white paint like this, and I've pinched. I want you to see something. I've pinched my brush, and my brush is now, this is probably the wettest my brush is. I pinch it, then I come in here to my white paint and make sure that the brush is really flat, okay? Flat. Now you can do a close-up here. And I'm not going to outline.
Wait. There's only one of me, you know. Okay, where are you going now?
I'm going to go right in here, right?
All right, let me get closer. All right, boss.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah? Yes and yes?
Yes and yes.
All right, so what I want to do is I want to come along the top of this, make sure I know where my brush is. Look how close I'm holding it to the edge because I'm flat here. And I'm just going to suggest there's a little light highlight right here and right here. Yeah, okay. And maybe right on top of this blue glass right there, like that. I'll put a little bit of white. How about right down here on the bottom? Might add a bit of light color right there to suggest glass. Go ahead and do your drawing.
I can't when you're not saying you're going to stay where you're going to stay. Zoom in close. I'm going to be right here. And then all of a sudden you start going all over the place.
Oh, you're so funny. All right, so I'm just doing a couple, all right? So I'll just come up here like that. Just like that, okay? Now, wipe your paint off. One stroke and lift, okay? Then you can have a little more paint maybe for this one. One stroke, down and lift up like an airplane taking off. Let's go this way on this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, lift. You see how we got the glass, and maybe I might put one there just for good measure. All right, do you see how that looks like a glass vase? Isn't that cool?
It's gorgeous.
All right, giveaway. Do your giveaway, darling.
Got it. I'd be on it, boss. Going all the way back up to the beginning of time.
So while John's looking for the giveaway, there's just, he's like, have you ever seen that man in the street that's playing 16 instruments all in one thing, and he's got the flute and his feet, one of his feet's making the drum go, and somebody else is doing the violin, and he's got a piano going. I mean, you've seen that? That's John over there in the corner, running the giveaways, running the cameras, running the stuff for you guys. So I hope you're having fun with this. I think we should be having a lot of fun. It seems to me like we should be having a lot of fun. While he's doing that, I could put something right there. There's kind of a hole here.
Did you two lovebirds get married? No, don't be silly. You know what's on your hand?
I might come up here with a little bit of the background color and poke a few holes in this.
What is the most important thing for us to remember to become a better artist? Use personal art coaching.
Yeah, well, that would be it. But if you're talking about that, I would say use references. Don't make it up. Try to get as many. Try to take tutorials. Try to get as much education as you can. I had someone send me some references today of a painting that they were doing, but they didn't send me the right. They didn't understand. They had a reference, but it didn't work for the painting because there's a way to use references. This is a huge subject. You know, people go to school for years to learn to paint. We've taken, years and years of that off through our tutorials, and of course even YouTube's done that too. What you learn, but the best thing to do, right? The best thing is to try to have, materials that are good. Try to get a good brush. That really makes a difference.
We feel brush is the most important.
I think brushes are more important than paint. Alicia Hugh, which is one of our, Academy stars, I would say, she does unbelievable. For years she was doing these paints with the worst paints possible. And quite frankly, I met a woman I'll have to show a video on Facebook on this, of this gal. We filmed her. We were on a tour in the Caribbean, and she had the crummiest paints I've ever seen and the saddest brushes I've ever seen. And she did a painting for me, and she was able to do it even with the worst brushes. But
And
you know what
paints.
she was painting? She was painting the scene in front of her. She had a very good reference.
Yep. So who's the winner? Aletha McNabb.
Oh, congratulations.
7-day winner, 7-day membership winner.
Congratulations.
I think it's Aletha. A-L-T-A,
I'm
yeah,
going to
I
just
think
close,
so.
while you guys are doing that, you can still see me, right? I'm going to close this tulip a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight to it, just a little bit more yellow in it. There we go, like that. Just feel like I should do that. Maybe I want a little of this color somewhere. It's not going to show up, but right there.
All right, because the
Little bit of-
donations that came in tonight, we can do one more downloadable.
So, all right, you guys, this is pretty exciting. We thank you very much. And, you know, and you're kind of, this is a nice group because we're just, you know, kind of rewarding the people who have hung in there with us in the live. So you're helping that people, and, you know, we appreciate that very much. And, you know, if you want to see what people are getting out of this, I got to tell you, it's free to join our Acrylic Painting Club on Facebook. And I love to see what you're painting. You know, it's fun, and it's fun to see what other people are painting. It's a good way to make friends. Let's just lighten up this leaf right here. Right like that. What do you guys think? A little bit right there.
And one of our late entries is a winner on this one.
Yeah? See how we just
So
sort
it's
of pop
never
the
too
color?
late to enter and never too early.
Yeah, kind of pop the
Last week we
color
had
on that
number
one.
one. First person that entered one.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun too.
Are you still planning to offer a class on how to arrange a painting? That would be...
Yeah, we're still working on painting design too. Absolutely, we're working on that lesson too. That's why I don't have time for selfies. Every time I turn around, I'm painting till like 2 in the morning almost every night.
She is whining. I have never seen anybody whine so much in my life.
Oh, please. Well,
Oh,
I
please,
can show you something.
I'm
Look, for
suffering.
instance, you know, I have to come up with these. You know, like for instance, next week. You want to know what we're going to be painting next week on
YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah, I do. What are we painting?
We're painting this. You can back it out.
Well, it's the same size as what's down there. Yeah, that fits.
We're painting it.
Ooh, that's pansies.
Pansies. What do you guys
I
think?
like that one. I love
We're
that
going to be painting
background.
that next week, after, you know, next Monday night. So I hope you'll join us for that. That's what we're painting. Kind of cool. Yes and yes.
Patty.
So, you know, always something. We're always doing something. And because that's, the painting design is so important. Painting design is so important.
It is, because we get people doing originals and it's very...
Yeah, because you know, it's just, originals are, well, I mean, how many people, most people can write a letter. How many people can write a novel? You know, I mean,
I could
it's a
barely
big, and
write
we
a
all
letter.
read and write pretty well, see? And when you start talking about original artwork, now you're talking about, you know, getting into the novel category of that. Who do you got?
Patty Simmons is the last winner of the night for a 1 credit downloadable lesson.
Patty Simmons, congratulations.
Come on down, Patty
Okay.
Simmons.
Now, Patty, the last thing I'm going to do on mine is I'm going to take a little bit of purple and I'm going to put a little dark dot in the middle of my picture, in the little flowers. Little dark dot, right like that.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of like a little button.
A little thing. Just using the last little hairs on that brush. Okay, so what could you do? I'll show you a trick. You guys want to see a trick? What could you do if you didn't have that? If you could find something very small, you could dip it into paint, and then you could just touch it like that, like the back of a brush. See that? If you didn't have a little, you know, that's
You're using it like a stamp then.
yeah. Then it's just like you got to have a little tiny, tiny brush, and that's the wooden end of it. So if you don't have it, just a little piece of trivia. It's good to know these things. Always little things you learn here. So all in all, I think we can be pretty happy with this. I hope this was. Do you have the vase we did the other day on YouTube about a month ago? The one we did with the daisies. Do you happen to know where that one is?
I think we cleaned up, so it should be hanging on the wall.
Yeah, maybe just down the hall there.
Just
on
down the
wall.
hall.
We have a hallway that goes forever, and we've got paintings floor to ceiling on it. What you're hearing then now, noise now, the noise you're hearing is the little metal ball that's BB that's in the Posca pen. Somebody wrote us on Facebook the other day and said they bought a whole thing of Posco pens and they didn't work. Well, here's the clue, you guys. You've got to shake them. Yeah, you've got to shake them for at least a minute, and then you've got to burp them like this. If it's brand new, can you see me like this? And then I would suggest you do something like this to make sure the ink's coming out, and then they write. And here's why you like them. Let me just show you. You know why you like them? Because when they're still wet, you can wipe them off. They don't dry for about 5 minutes or till you hit a hairdryer. And if you've ever signed your name, haven't half the time you signed your name you didn't like it? Yeah. You just didn't like how you signed it. With the Posca pen, you can go again and try it again. I get the fine point ones. This isn't as fine point as I normally use, but there you go. So that's how you sign it. And also if you need to make a little tiny thin line and you're having trouble with it, you need something a little brighter, it'll do it for you, right like that. You've got it. It'll absolutely do it for you. So they're really nice too. And our Amazon store has a link to these. We don't sell them, but we have. What we did was we made an Amazon store, and all the stuff that Amazon sells that we use, we sort of put on there, so it's easy for you guys to find it. And they have a set with all these colors, like this. And I got to tell you, I never use the colors. I never use all the colors.
We've used
I guess
a couple
they're
of
okay
them.
to have them occasionally, but you know. But I've had this one. I've had them for like 2 years now. They don't run out. Not that one. Oh,
I know that, but I can't find that one you're asking for. But that, since we're doing tulips.
Was this YouTube? What was this one?
I don't remember where that one is.
Well, John doesn't remember this. Does Judy know? Is Judy on here? Judy will tell us.
Judy knows where it's
Judy,
at.
where did we fit? This is one with the textured background in tulips.
I cannot find the
yellow flowers in a glass vase.
The black-eyed Susans or whatever.
Black-eyed Susans. Well, you'll have to look. But just I'll put a link. How's that?
Yeah, we'll put a link.
Judy, where did we find this tulip painting? Because this is all done with texture and modeling
paste. That was a fun one. I remember.
And stuff. And this was a really interesting one too. If you like tulips, we did this one, but I can't remember if it was a YouTube or Academy lesson right now. Sorry.
Oh, we do too many lessons.
I can't remember. Well, anyway. Well.
Oh, I don't know what happened to the yellow flowers.
Oh, well, John, I thought they were around here somewhere. Are you sure they're not over somewhere? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, so many times, so many lessons.
Hey, we want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the alarm, because we're going to have to be testing our system because apparently YouTube's doing things to us. So we're going to be testing before we go live next week. It'll be impromptu little things. We don't know when, where, or why.
So keep in touch, you guys, and let us know. So this was fun. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope this was fun. Look forward to joining you next Saturday if you can join me to paint the horse. And of course, next Monday night we'll be painting the pansies, which will be fun. And of course, I'm always interested in your Van Gogh selfie things that you're doing. If you're doing that selfie challenge, we're excited about that. So any questions you would like answered on the air, please feel free to write us, contact us, write us, and if your question didn't get answered tonight, write me and I will use your name and say, so-and-so wanted to know this, so we'll have a list. So happy to answer your questions, and this was really fun.
People are saying that's a YouTube lesson.
It is a YouTube lesson.
Yeah.
Good. Wasn't that lucky? Because what's neat about this was a little modeling paste in the background. See all this interesting texture? And that's modeling paste. That's really cool, this one. So something fun to do. So I think that's our show tonight, John. Anything else you want to add? Any questions we want to answer before we sign off?
Any more questions? No. Can't wait to paint.
Thanks, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, everyone. And remember, subscribe to us because we don't know what we're doing. Right?
Why would they subscribe? Because
we're going to go live at a moment's notice.
Oh, what he means is not that we don't know what we're doing, but we never know when we're going to go live. And there's a way to subscribe, though. They just can't subscribe. You got to hit the bell, and then you got to do all this other stuff. There's a thing. It's a thing. But hopefully, keep in touch. And also, you know, if you're a member of our Facebook club, we keep everybody up on what we're doing there, too.
You know, you're talking through our startup screen. They can't see anymore. Because I thought we were done.
Bye.
The bear said, close the show off.
Okay. Thanks to our moderators. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks to the donations. Hope everybody enjoyed the wins. Well, you guys, I don't think I can look at another commercial about how to unstop the toilet, or maybe you two can learn to draw. That, you know, we have to have those in our video in order to kind of cover some costs, but I thought it would be fun, as long as we were doing it, to put a commercial in for ourselves. So here's the commercial from me to you. I want you to have a wonderful day. I want you to be the artist you can be. I want you to get up in the morning and say, today's the day I'm going to be happier than I was yesterday. This is my commercial in wishing you the bestest, happiest day of your life. And art hugs from John and I.
I'm a student, I say with glee, of Ginger Cook's Academy. Take your time and do not rush. Use ruby satin, silver brush. Don't use black and mix the green. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises as I learn. I'll be an artist, wait and see. Ginger means the world to me.